All right, what's going on, guys? And welcome everybody back to a brand new video. So, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, the beta has just been released, and right now it's a PlayStation exclusive. I played the alpha a few weeks ago on PlayStation as well, and I let you guys kind of know my opinions and how I think the game actually plays. We talked a little bit about one of the biggest problems it had, and honestly, Black Ops Cold War, from everything I've observed, has had one of the strangest receptions to the overall audience and player base out of any Call of Duty in recent memory, and it does have a pretty significant problem at hand, and it might not be exactly what you're expecting. So before we get into it, I would just like to mention, if you guys enjoyed today's video, to leave a like rating. That'd be awesome. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, as around 80% of my audience is not currently subbed. I'd appreciate that a lot. And I'm also going to be giving away some beta codes, and all you got to do is just let me know in the comment section what you play on, and I'll be sure to hook you up with those. And one final thing, I stream almost every single day over on Twitch, so if you want to go follow me over there, if you haven't done that already, links in the description below. So to take this back a few weeks ago, when the Black Ops Cold War Alpha was out, I didn't really do a full review on it because I feel like it wasn't fair. And Alpha, as far as I'm concerned, is Call of Duty essentially getting the framework in place and trying to get the fundamentals of their new game down while having a mass market test it so they can weapon tune, they can find balance, they can squash bugs, and all, just to have a more finalized product before the game releases. Now, a beta, and especially in COD terms, is not really the same thing. Betas over the past few years have just been more or less appetizers, or like a light version of the full game or what is to come. And to be honest, that's what I kind of felt like the Cold War beta was. And interestingly enough, it was a severe improvement already over the alpha. Not every Call of Duty game, or even just video games in general, are able to pull that off. Sometimes you could argue the beta version is less fun than what the alpha was, but this was truly a more polished edition, where they took the movement mechanics and they didn't completely ruin them, as I really liked them in the alpha, and they kept them going. Same thing with the weapon tuning, they made them just a little bit more fair. As far as gameplay is concerned, there's really nothing that I inherently dislike. The biggest problem is completely outside of that realm. Not to mention, they even added an FOV slider to all consoles, meaning you can now customize whatever you want your field of view to be, and you don't necessarily have to be on PC. That was probably one of the biggest moves they could have ever made, but I think it did come with some side effects. Now, again, I don't think Black Ops Cold War's biggest problem has anything to do or is immediately associated with its core mechanics and gameplay. You've probably seen a lot of complaining already on Twitter. The beta's been out for about a day and a half at the time of me recording this video, and people are already back on skill-based matchmaking. This probably comes as no surprise to you, and if you watched my video regarding skill-based matchmaking a few days ago after the alpha, then if you guys haven't seen that, I recommend to go watch it, as I go into a pretty in-depth explanation of why skill-based matchmaking is implemented and why it's a faulty idea just to completely remove it or have it super constricted. But it's pretty clear to see that the vocal minority of COD players are already back at it ever since the alpha released, and they thought that they were going to, turn down or tune skill-based matchmaking to some degree, but people are still quite upset about it, and it's only 1.5 days into the alpha, and it's still only on PlayStation. We're not even going to talk about how this can change with Xbox, and then when you throw PC into the mix, it becomes a whole other beast. And I'm not even going to get into that right now. It would just be pointless. That's not the point of this video. What I want to talk about is skill-based matchmaking, and I think I have a bit of a different perspective or opinion than most content creators. I'm not really sure. You guys can let me know what you think about it down below, but I don't think that the concept of skill-based matchmaking is necessarily a problem, and I also don't think that the implementation of skill-based matchmaking in COD, I don't think that's actually the core problem. The implementation of skill-based matchmaking is probably the best that they can work with, but what I think the fundamental problem is not skill-based matchmaking. I think it's Call of Duty. I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I'm like, why is it only in Call of Duty that there is such an outcry to remove skill-based matchmaking? There has to be something fundamental to that. It's not that people don't like competition, and that's something you have to understand. A lot of the pro skill-based matchmakers will say, oh, you just don't like competition. And I know, speaking from my perspective, and probably I can speak for a lot of you guys too, it's not that at all. It's not that you don't like competition. It's just that good competition in video games can sometimes end up leading to the most fun moments ever that you've experienced. For some reason, in Call of Duty specifically, it just doesn't work that well, and I'll explain why. So in my free time, I play a lot of Smash Ultimate, and I will tell you that the most fun games that you can have in this, or at least is in my perspective, is when you're playing against somebody who is the same skill level as you, or maybe even a bit better. You don't want to play, if you're playing against someone who's never touched the controller, Smash Ultimate really isn't that fun, to be honest. And there's a lot of satisfaction in playing against somebody in Smash who is basically just as good as you and having like a really good back and forth. In Call of Duty, why is that not the case? When you get one kill and die and you get stuck in that loop, you don't play Call of Duty for very long. If you end up going in the game 20 20 every single match, you're not going to be having very much fun, and you probably won't stick around the game for that long. But that begs the question, why is it so different in this game comparatively to others? I think what it ultimately comes down to is that Call of Duty's core fundamentals are centered around getting kills and thus getting kill streaks thereafter. And I would even extend that same concept to Warzone. Really, the point of playing Call of Duty is to, you don't have to necessarily slaughter the other team, but you want to be doing exceptionally better than them. You want to be getting kill streaks. You want to be getting way more kills than you are getting deaths. That's what is satisfactory about COD. But of course, when you do that mathematically, if somebody in the game is getting a lot of kills, then somebody isn't. Again, to use Smash as an example, two opponents may be having the exact same amount of fun because they're equally as engaged and they're being equally rewarded trading back and forth and hitting combos and stuff. But in COD, if somebody's getting a lot of kills, somebody's getting a lot of deaths. And that's another pretty big reason why I think Warzone is so successful, because it still has like Call of Duty's, very simple to understand gameplay, but there's way more to offer than just like a standard multiplayer match and getting kills. Warzone, obviously you can loot, you can do side quests, you can drive vehicles. There's a lot more depth to the gameplay than in Warzone than there is in, like, let's say COD multiplayer. That's not to say that they both aren't fun. The core structure of the gameplay seems to be fundamentally different. That's why I think skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty will never ever not be controversial, I guess. But I don't think it's skill-based matchmaking or even the implementation of it that's the problem. I just think what people got to understand is that it's Call of Duty. It's meant to be a casual arcade shooter, and it's not the hardest video game to. You don't even have to do well at it, but it's not the hardest game to even get some amount of kills. That's how it's designed. When you have a relatively lower skill ceiling, this means pretty much any gamer, regardless of skill, can jump in, and at one point or another, they're going to get a kill or some amount of kills. And again, there's specific mechanics that are also made for, maybe a less skilled player to pick up kills every now and again to feel rewarded. And you can argue whether that's a good idea or not, but that's how it is in Call of Duty. And the worst part about this all is that there is no easy solution to this. Removing skill-based matchmaking would do nothing. Keeping it very tightly constricted would also be extremely unhealthy for the player base. The only realistic thing I could think of to alleviate this problem is you would have to fundamentally make Call of Duty's gameplay a little bit harder. You'd have to increase the skill ceiling to, separate average players from good players and to separate more good players from top players. This way, in your games, there would be a marked difference between, different hierarchies of skill, and it would actually feel that skill-based matchmaking is less prominent. But that's the thing, is it's Call of Duty's gameplay is almost kind of meant for everybody to more or less be on the same plane. And I'm also not faulting Call of Duty for being a casual shooter because, we need a game like that. And also, there's a reason why Call of Duty is so popular. It's a very easy game to get into, and that's its biggest strength. But again, the people that I guess want to completely do away with skill-based matchmaking, I don't think they understand the core of the issue. Maybe Call of Duty isn't the hardest game in the entire world, and it's not really meant to be built as a competitive game. It's built to be an arcade shooter. So you kind of have to juxtapose that with the way that they're handling skill-based matchmaking. And I also think that there is room for a little bit of that implementation in there. Just steamrolling bots is almost equally as unsatisfying as going 1-to-1, getting one kill and one death. And also, if there was no skill-based matchmaking at all, you would have fun for about 2 months, and then you would realize that you've already ate up all of the casual players. They've already left and moved on, and then you would end up with only the hardcore players that, play Call of Duty every day and are generally better at the game. That's who you'd end up with eventually, so it's really a time problem. The thing is, skill-based matchmaking is not going anywhere anytime soon, and I also don't think removing it or making it tighter would solve any issues either. It is what it is right now. That's also not to speak on the quality of Black Ops Cold War, because what I will say is I've enjoyed this multiplayer significantly more than pretty much any Call of Duty that I can remember in the past. I think the last time I enjoyed a multiplayer like this was maybe the Black Ops 3 beta. So I'm a really big fan of the Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer, but I also have to keep in mind that every once in a while I'm going to get put into lobbies of people that literally play Call of Duty for a living as well, literally get paid a salary. I played one game on the beta as a placement match, and I think I went like 40-4 or something, and then immediately after, I played with FaZe Simp, who literally gets paid a salary to be good at Call of Duty. So I just have to understand that's how it's gonna be. That's kind of the thing I noticed. The Black Ops Cold War beta, almost fundamentally, as far as the gameplay is concerned, is sound, There is a little bit of issues with the combined arms game mode, and some of the, more player lobbies can stutter a little bit, and they can have performance issues, but I assume those are also going to be looked at before the full release of the game. And having a large amount of players in any lobby is going to have have some kind of problems down the road, but hopefully they get those worked out. But again, I think the most fundamental problem that people have with Black Ops Cold War at the minute is skill-based matchmaking. But I hope I was able to like lay this out in a way where I really don't think it's skill-based matchmaking that's a problem. I think it's Call of Duty that's the problem. So that being said, I don't really know what to do about this issue. To be honest, if you have any ideas, you can let me know in the comment section. And you can also let me know if you agree with my perspective on the entire thing, because I think that's where it really lies at the end of the day. But that's also not to say that the game isn't fun. It gets a thumbs up for me. I really like my time on the alpha and the beta so far. I'm looking to the full release of the game. It's going to be good. But let me know your opinions down below in the comment section. And also, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like before you go. Subscribe if you are brand new to the channel. And also, go follow me on Twitch, where I'm streaming almost every day. Links in the description down below. But hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day or night. And I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. I gotta go. And peace out.